What's up guys, it's Tiger Camo 5 here with my faithful dog, and today we are going to show you how to do your own Minecraft manhunts in Bedrock Edition. So, without further ado, let's just get right to it. Alright, so we are going to start with the world creation part of this setup because there are a couple of important things that you have to do. Firstly, you're going to want to come over here and set your default game mode to creative, which is going to do a couple of things, but mostly it's just going to allow you to access command blocks, and it's going to turn on the cheats so that you can use those command blocks. You can play on whichever difficulty you like. Then you're going to want to shut off your starting map, you don't want that. And then also just make sure all of your friends who are going to be joining into this world are going to be operators. That'll simplify things for setup and also later in the manhunt if you're going to do commands like I'm going to show you in this video. And then the other thing you're going to want to do is you're going to come down here and turn coordinates on, because you're going to need those for the setup. If you want to turn them back off for the game, you can. I prefer to leave them on, but it's up to you. That's about it for the setup, so let's go ahead and create this world. Alright, so once you're in the world, oh, there's a nice village over there. This would be a nice start. Anyways, once you're in the world, you're going to want to start by just going ahead and giving yourself a command block using a command. So just /give @s command block, and then I'm going to put all the commands that I use in this down in the description so that you don't have to search through the video for them. So then you're going to want to, what you're going to want to do with this command block is place it anywhere. I usually dig a 2-block hole for it so you can cover it up later. And I go ahead and place it in the hole. So what you're going to want to do is then go into it. This is going to be the command block that does the magic. So you're going to want to get into this command input part and type out the command that you need, which is going to be /execute. So it does that. And then you're going to want to type in the player name of the speedrunner that you're going to be tracking. So in my case, that's just going to be me, Tiger Camo 5, ~, with spaces between them, that's important. Setworldspawn, also ~, again. So that is the command. So I'll just briefly explain how this command works. So this command is basically, it's going to execute for Tiger Camo 5 his current coords, and then it's going to take those coords and set the world spawn at those current coords. So this is going to allow the compass, in-game compass that you can just grab from the creative inventory, to point to, it always points to the world spawn, so it will then point to the location of the player. So a couple other things that we're going to want to do in this command block interface. We are going to want to make this repeating because we want this to happen multiple times, clearly, otherwise we wouldn't be able to track anyone. We're going to turn on always active so that it doesn't need redstone. And then there's a couple other things. These are to reduce lag. We're going to set a 200 tick delay. You can figure out how good your internet connection is, and how good your computer is will also help with that, and you can figure out what delay works best for you. But if you're running it every tick, your game's going to get really laggy. So then the final thing we do is going to shut off previous output, just because it just helps reduce lag and we don't need it at all. So as soon as we exit out, we see that it's going to set the world spawn point to my current coords, which is good because it means it's working. However, we don't particularly want that game chat filling up with those notifications all manhunt. It'll get annoying. So luckily we can fix that. So we just do /gamerule commandblockoutput, all one word, false, and then that's gone. It's gonna keep doing its thing, but it is not going to show up in the chat. So that's it for that command block. That runs the magic. The rest of this is important, but that is the main deal. So then we're going to head over here to this block here. I usually place it here in this, right next to it, like that. This command block is also optional, but I find that it helps a lot. If you go into the command input and go ahead and do /give @p, so nearest player compass, this will allow when the hunters die. We're going to leave everything else in this default settings. This will allow the hunters when they die to just come over here and step on a pressure plate, which we'll put on it, and it'll just go ahead and give them their compass, which will point to the speedrunner. So if they die and they lose all their stuff, they come back here and they get a compass without having to type in a command or go into creative mode or anything like that. So that's a helpful feature. Again, optional. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, but I do because I think it's helpful. So there's one more thing that we really need to do for the setup. plus an extra bit that we also need to do in order to accomplish a smooth manhunt. The last thing we need to do is make sure that this command block keeps working. When the simulation is no longer in progress for the command block, then it's going to stop working. If it's not being loaded, it's not going to do anything. So what we want to do is we just want to simply set up this thing called a ticking area, and this is where Bedrock and Java differ. Also with the command that's in that block, it doesn't work the same on Bedrock and Java, I think. What the? Thank you, cow. I really needed that compass. Anyways, so we're gonna set up a ticking area. So this is where you want to grab a piece of paper or have your friends tell you the chords, but we need the chords that are on the corner of this command block. So we're gonna do this corner here, and then this corner up here. So I need the chords of this block, so I'm gonna write these down: 112, 66, 27, and then we're gonna hop over here to this block and 114, 65, 29. Alright, and then we're gonna head into our chat and type in the command that's gonna make this happen. So we're gonna do /tickingarea add, and then we're going to type in the chords of one of our corners. So we're going to pick the first one we recorded, so 112. These are going to be different for you, just in case you didn't pick that up. These are the chords of your corner, so don't type in these chords, it's not going to work. So 112, 66, 27, and then we're going to have our other corner. So for me it's going to be 114, 65, and 29. And then we're going to name it. You don't really have to do this step. I usually do. At least you can name it a word, you can name it one letter. It doesn't really matter. I usually name it. We're just going to name it manhunt in this. So then it's going to say added ticking area, 1 out of 10 ticking areas in use. So if you don't get that confirmation, you should try again. It means it didn't work. You really want to make sure that's working, because otherwise your compass is going to stop working. And that's just about it. There's one more really important thing that you want to do. One thing I usually do is just go ahead and cover up this command block here. It doesn't really matter, but I do it anyways. And then the thing you cannot forget to do is go ahead and grab yourself a bed and place it next to the command block, at spawn, wherever. And then you want everyone to sleep in it or set your spawn in it. Because otherwise, see the command block that's hidden down there now is setting the world spawn to the speedrunner. So if the hunters die without their having slept in this bed, then they're going to spawn on top of the speedrunner, and that would not be good. So they have to sleep in this bed. Things do get a little weird if they sleep in a different bed, if the hunters sleep in a different bed and then the speedrunner destroys that bed, because it doesn't go back to this bed, it goes to the speedrunner. So I'd suggest you keep your piece of paper around with your spawn chords that you had from the ticking area command, and you can just teleport them back to the spawn from there, and they can sleep in this bed again. Get things figured out from there. Alright, just a couple more things, brief points. This compass does not work in the nether. You cannot set the world spawn to the nether, so you can't do that. The compass no longer works in the nether or end. You don't usually need it in the end. So one way that we have figured out to try to deal with that is also, it's Bedrock. So fortress spawning is stupid and can often lead to hours in the nether. So you can call us like pansies, but we are going to, in our manhunts, we are going to go ahead and use the /locatefortress command, which I'll throw down in the description, to let the speedrunner locate the fortress in the nether. But they have to do that as soon as they get through the portal. And then what's going to happen is if the hunter wants to try to follow them, they can come through the portal and also use the /locatefortress command from the portal. So that way, if the speedrunner goes to the fortress, the hunter also knows where the fortress is, and they can follow him into there. You can do that, you can experiment. If anybody knows a better way to do this that also works in the nether, please let us know down in the comments, so that we can try to fix this, because it would be much better if the compass would actually work in the nether. So I guess I'll just show you real quick now that we're all done. I will show you how this compass works. I can't do it while it's in my hand, so I'm going to have to find an item frame. There we go. And go ahead and place that on the ground and put the compass in it. So right now it's pointing right at me, but if I move, you see it's not pointing to me. Well, give it a couple seconds. Because of our 200 tick delay, it's going to have to wait and after that command block runs again on the 200th tick, it will go ahead and come over just like that. And this works because of our ticking area. It works as far away from spawn as we wish to go, so we'll just sort of fly really far away. Alright, so we have gone so far that our spawn chunk is no longer rendered, but our compass should still work because of the fact that we have a ticking area in place. So see, it goes to me, and then we wait 200 ticks for it to move again. It needs a couple seconds. This never affects the actual game, because you see it just went. It's not long enough, so that's about all you have to worry about. There's two more things we usually do, before the starts of our manhunts from this setup. As you can see, this has taken all day, and it's almost day. It's almost night again. So, before we start, we usually set the time to day again using the command, which I will put in the description. And we also, clearly we're going to put everyone in survival mode, because otherwise this would be really boring. Other than that, that's about it. Go have fun with your manhunts.